Hey everybody, my vacation is officially over. Very much sads. So this is my hi, I'm back from vacation update. So I probably won't be very articulate. It's 4:30 in the morning. I got back a couple of hours ago, and I've actually been editing because I'm a workaholic, and that's what I do. In fact, in the car on the way here, I wrote 7,000 words in a new story. It's just kind of how I roll. So the events of today and vacation in general. I know I posted like a written blog a couple days ago, so I updated you there. But I'm currently editing more. I've got it down to about 151,000 now. I'm going to keep going. I've got some very pointed suggestions that are helping me find the things that I need to eliminate now. It is slowly killing my soul. Like, honestly. I'm going to vent a little bit. Just fair warning. Because I have issues with this word count bullshit. Deep-seated personal issues with word count bullshit. I have trained myself to write long stories. Because this is what I aspired to be. I grew up reading Robert Jordan and J.R.R. Tolkien, and now I'm a big fan of George R.R. Martin. And if you have been paying attention, what you'll notice is that there's a pattern here. I tend to choose series, and I tend to choose long series, and I tend to choose long series with books that range from 400 to 1,200 pages each. These are the people I wanted to be like, so these are the people I've trained to be. So now I write long stories. It's because it's all I want to buy and read, typically. So, to be told that the upper limit of a debut fantasy novel is 120,000 words, which is roughly 400 pages, disappoints me. Because that is what I had considered my bare minimum for what would be an acceptable novel length in the fantasy genre. I have read smaller books and that's fine. But for what I want to do, what I see as the benchmark is 400 pages or more. And now I'm being told I need to write 400 pages or less. So it's frustrating for me. Furthermore, there are the things that people tell you that need to be cut, and this is in no way meant to be insulting to the person who critiqued me, because I see this. Everybody says this. This isn't just her. It's the agents, it's the editors, it's the publishers, it's critiquers want there to not be so much backstory. Show it, don't tell, that kind of thing. No info dumps. So they don't want me to take the time to tell you what happened before this point. They kind of just want to tell you the here and now. Immediately after I started cutting out all of my backstory, Brad and I sat down and started watching Final Fantasy Advent Children, which is it's a movie based on video games. I've seen it before, but I hadn't seen it in a long time. The first 10 minutes of that movie, nothing but backstory. I was like, this is so unfair. Why is it just me? Why do I have to cut out my backstory? And I know it's not just me. I'm just being melodramatic. Oh, woe is me. It's just very frustrating. Because, like, I'm writing the stories I want to read. And I'm being told that a lot of the things that I enjoy are things that need to go. I like passive voice. I like to read passive voice. I love to write passive voice. I think it sounds prettier. I think it sounds more poetic and flowy and something like you would read. It's like old worldy and cool. Having to take 190,000 words and start editing it, converting passive voice to active voice when passive voice is the default that you write in, total pain in the ass. I'm here to tell you. Nightmarish. So I don't understand. And so I'll talk to my friends like Jory about this, and they're like, well, I don't understand that either. And I was like, well, here's the thing. I get it. I know why they're saying this. They want you to be really exciting in your first pages to draw a reader in, because this is how you sell books. But I compare like what I would read versus what is actually selling, and it never really makes sense to me. I compare it when I was talking to Jory the other day, and I said it's kind of like the difference between a movie like A Beautiful Mind and a movie like The Transporter. A Beautiful Mind is a slow drama. It's very, very thinky. There's lots of complexities in there. It's a wonderful movie. Then you go to like The Transporter, where it's fast cars and blowing shit up. That's it. That's the crux of the problem we have here, I think. Because I prefer to write stories that are more along the lines of something like A Beautiful Mind. Slow build, lots of subtle hints and plot things in there, you know, characterization. I'm trying to make an experience. What's gonna sell better in the real world is The Transporter. Because people who like A Beautiful Mind are fangirls. They're people who love the whole story. So it's also like the difference between The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. The Hobbit was meant to kind of be like a younger book, and there's a lot happening in a small book. Clearly, they just made 3 movies out of it. Whereas like The Lord of the Rings was meant to be sort of more like a mythology, and 3 books made 3 movies out of it. It's kind of like that. So, I lost my train of thought there. Yeah, but it's kind of like that. You know what I mean? I'm trying to make a slower experience. I don't want it to be slow. It's not boring. But I want it to take more time to tell a story rather than just banging all out right front. So going through again and trying to cut word count now is... I'm cutting pretty things. Like, I'm not sacrificing the plot itself. The things that I'm cutting aren't necessary, but I think that they improve it. So my soul screams. The plot screams. Like, everything is like, I can't believe I'm doing this, but I'm cutting more words. It hurts. Alright, moving on from there. So let's talk about something a little bit more fun. That's where I'm at right now. I wrote 7,000 words in a news story. And here's the thing with that. I like to write things I feel aren't getting enough attention. That's why I started writing fanfiction in the first place. So when I think of a new plot, what I'm looking for is to fill a void that hasn't been filled. I had this conversation with Brad today, and I was like, I want a book written from the point of view of an NPC. Kind of. Because no one thinks about that. You know, if you were to look at, like, Game of Thrones, and, there's always, like, that one innkeeper that gets punched in the face and his daughter gets raped and they steal all of his shit and they just kind of shack up in his inn. I want a story about that guy. And these are the things that I think of when I'm trying to think of a plot. So, the 7,000 words in this new story that I have are about lesbians. Here's the thing. So my friend Jory was like, I really need some good books about lesbians. I went to go try to find them. Turns out there really aren't that many. In fact, there are lots and lots of books about gay men. Not so many about gay women. And there's sort of like a movement going on right now where people are trying to add more diverse books to what's published, which is awesome. And I was like, well, I'm sensing a golden opportunity here. I'm going to write the book I think Jory wants to read. I think it'll be fun to write. And it fulfills my goals as an author of filling a void that has to be written. Fantasy novel, all about lesbians. So here's the premise. There's this girl who decides by herself that because she's so different, that she's special, and she declares herself goddess of the world. And then, of course, I added in a love interest, because that's fun. And her name is Taryn. And she starts the book in a cage. Because she's being offered as tribute to the goddess. As payment for a prayer. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm not going to tell you too much, that's spoilery. That's like an entirely different thread of videos, of things to tell you about. I'm going to focus on this one story right now that I'm still not done editing before I actually go ahead and finish this one. I just wrote 7,000 words in the car on my 9-hour trip back from Iowa. It was fun. I will say it's a lot more dialogue than my other stories typically are. It's lighthearted and fast-paced so far. I won't tell you any more on that. We'll move on from there. And the last fun thing that happened today was that I'm part of this 22,000 person group called NaNoWriMo. It's not the official one, it's a different one. It's just a bunch of people gathered together. Today is Self-Promotion Friday. Which I tried last week and I got like 17 new likes and I was like, oh, that's cool. So today I did something a little different. Today I promoted Frankie and me. And I posted my page and I posted Frankie's page. And I ended up with, I think, about 70 new Facebook likes. And I got Frankie like 45. And she wasn't online at the time. And I was like, when Frankie comes back, she's gonna shit bricks. Because she's been sitting for weeks on 55 Facebook likes. And it's just like, she knows she needs to promote more. And I just like dropped her link on the Self-Promotion Friday page and she comes on and she's like, what just happened? My page just blew up. And I'm like, ee. She's like, oh my god, what did you do? I'm like, oh, well, it's Self-Promotion Friday and it works so well for me that I dropped yours down there too. So I'm hoping she vlogs tomorrow and tells you all about how she felt about that. But I just wanted to come and kind of chuckle about it. But, oh, another thing, I got a Kindle. And I bought Frankie's book. Oh, I told you that in the written blog. Whatever. Anyway, now it is 4:45. Video's 12.5 minutes. On my defense, I just got off vacation and I had a lot to say. I have to work I was going to say tomorrow, but it's actually today. I have to work today. And I have promised Kevin that I'm going to finish reading his story. And then I'm going to focus on editing again. And move on from there. So good night, everybody. And enjoy 2015. It's going to be good.